Hello, my name's Andrew, and these are the 10 best winter barefoot boots for casual, hiking, sledding, snowshoeing, and everything in between. Starting off, if I could only have one barefoot boot for winter, it'd definitely be the Softstar Switchback, because it has a medium or extra wide toe box, highly water resistant leather upper, gusseted tongue, stitched sole, mid-weight merino wool lining, thicker 12mm zero drop sole with great flexibility, and hybrid tread that can handle both roads and trails. For hiking, it grips extremely well on muddy hills, but still provides a ton of protection on sharp rocks, and the leather upper is super flexible and waterproof up to the gusset line, although the sole does feel a bit thicker than necessary for roads. For days below freezing, I usually grab the Lenka winter boot, which also has an extra wide toe box and waterproof leather upper, but with a thicker wool lining, 8mm zero drop sole with great flexibility, and aggressive tread for both dry and wet terrain. Like the Switchback, it's excellent for hiking on slippery hills, and the rubber is kind of bendy, so it actually feels softer walking on roads. Plus the wool can easily handle temperatures far below freezing, although it can overheat in warmer weather. For a pure casual boot, you can't beat the Vivobarefoot Gobi because it's got a wide toe box and comes in a leather upper or vegan version with slip-on bungee laces, as well as a puffy synthetic lining, thin 3.7mm zero drop sole with excellent flexibility, and minimal tread for urban terrain. If you want an all-season option, there's also the regular Gobi boot, which doesn't have any insulation built in, but for all of them, it's easy to add more warmth by using a wool felt insole with a pair of merino wool and gingy toe socks, and some smarter thick wools over top when it's really cold. For a mid-cut do-it-all boot, the Xero Denver is a solid pick because it's got a wide toe box with a water-resistant canvas or leather upper, medium 5.5mm zero drop sole with great flexibility, and durable hybrid tread that's dense enough for rocks but also aggressive enough for wet ground. Like all Xeros, the sole is tough as nails, but feels nice walking on roads too for days when it's above or below freezing, although I would recommend treating the canvas or leather with beeswax since it doesn't come that way out of the box. For nasty weather, the Vivobarefoot Tracker Winter SG is my go-to because it's got a wide toe box, waterproof leather upper, high wraparound guard, lightweight wool insulation, although the new versions may differ, fully gusseted tongue, medium 7.5mm zero drop sole with great flexibility, and aggressive chevron lugs for gripping on wet ground. Mucking through slush, clambering up snowbanks, and navigating muddy trails, there's no better barefoot boot than the SG, and I love that the tread has plenty of space because it helps prevent mud from getting stuck around the lugs. That said, the Tracker Winter doesn't provide as much protection on rocks, and with less surface area, it will wear down faster on rough terrain in general. For maximum ground feel, the Mukishoes Serra is my all-time favorite winter barefoot boot because it's got a wide toe box, waterproof leather upper, stitched sole for durability, gusseted tongue, dense bureau wool lining, thin 3.5mm zero drop sole with superb flexibility, and minimal non-slip tread for urban terrain and light hiking. Rolling down on roads and snowy trails, there's no tread in the world that feels as much like being completely barefoot as Mukishoes. And like the Gobi, you can warm it up with an extra insole or wool socks, or even wear a thinner sock and use it as an indoor slipper. That said, the tread isn't thick enough to handle rocky trails, and it will get cold if you're just standing around instead of walking or hiking. For a taller winter barefoot boot, the Wildling Wolf is an excellent alternative with a medium wide toe box, herringbone wool upper, synthetic membrane for water resistance, thin 3.5mm zero drop sole with superb flexibility, and minimal tread for urban terrain. As with Mukishoes, Wildlings are so light that I'll literally forget I'm even wearing boots. And I love that the Wolf's upper looks like a classic herringbone suit, although I will say that while the synthetic membrane does a nice job of cutting wind, it can also reduce breathability indoors or on warmer days. For running errands, my top pick is the Magical Shoes Alaskan because it's got a wide toe box, water resistant leather upper, side zip for quick on and off, thick wool insulation, thin 4mm zero drop sole with excellent flexibility, and hybrid tread for roads and moderate trails. Apart from the Gobi Hyper, the Alaskan is definitely the fastest winter barefoot boot to get on and off thanks to the quick side zip, and it's also warmer as well as being dense enough to handle some rocks and gravel, although I do wish the lugs were a bit farther apart since they don't have as much traction on wet slippery ground, and while extremely flexible, the lower guard does make the bottom of the boot less water resistant. For an indoor boot, my favorite winter option is the KOW Slipper, which has a wide toe box, stretchy wool bamboo yarn upper and low or high cut, and thin 2mm zero drop leather sole of superb flexibility that's stitched for some extra toughness. Because of the chunky knit, the KOWs are great for all season use, being thick enough to insulate my feet in New York winters, but also soft and breathable enough where I can still wear them on cooler mornings in the summer. That said, to keep them clean, I like to use a pair of merino wool and gingy socks, which also help improve the airflow between my toes. And for super cold weather, you can also check out the Wildling Koselig. For any toe shoe fanatics out there, the Vibram V V-Lynx is about as good as it gets. Having extra wide separate toes, a somewhat water-resistant synthetic upper, wool insulation, side zip, thin 4mm zero drop sole, superb flexibility, and durable hybrid tread for both roads and dry rocky trails. Like all Vibrams, the V-Lynx's 5-toed sole is second to none when it comes to natural movement, but it's also incredibly grippy and rugged for hiking, as well as trail running on firm ground. And it does stay surprisingly warm as long as you keep moving, although it is less practical for cold, wet days, since water can and will come straight in through the toes and make your feet freezing cold. Alright, so those are the top 10 best winter barefoot boots, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop the referral links down below, browse and filter more products with the shoe finder tool on my website barefootwear.org, or watch my zero drop transition video to learn more about barefooting. And if you have a question about winter barefoot boots or about minimalist footwear in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, catch you next time, peace!